What if the most ruthless decision of Prince William's future reign has already been made, and the person who felt it first was not a prince, not a duchess, not even a senior royal, but Queen Camilla's own grandson? According to this dramatic royal story, Freddy Parker Bowles believed his family connection gave him protection. He was Camilla's grandson, close enough to the crown to feel untouchable, close enough to Windsor to think the doors would always remain open. But then William reportedly did something so quiet, so cold, and so final that it sent a warning through the entire palace. Royal blood may open a door once, but it will not keep you inside forever. Before we go deeper into the alleged decision that left Camilla powerless, take a second to subscribe. We bring you deep royal stories, emotional palace drama, and the hidden tensions behind the official smiles. Now, let's step inside Windsor. According to the story, this was never really about one invitation, one careless comment, or one young relative being pushed aside. Freddy Parker Bowles allegedly became the symbol of a much bigger problem, people standing close to royalty, enjoying the glow of the crown, but forgetting the discipline that comes with it. For Prince William, that was dangerous. The monarchy survives on control, it survives on silence, it survives on people knowing exactly where the line is and never crossing it. And according to the narrative, William had started to believe Freddy did not understand that line at all. At first, the concerns seemed small. A private invitation here, a stronger presence at Windsor there, a sense that Camilla's side of the family wanted more recognition inside royal life. To outsiders, that might sound harmless. But inside the palace, nothing is harmless. A seat is never just a seat, never just an invitation. Access is power, and William reportedly knew that if he allowed one person to push too far, others would follow. That is why the word allegedly used behind closed doors mattered so much. Liability, not family problem, not youthful mistake. Liability, once someone is seen that way inside a royal institution, everything changes. According to the account, Freddy's name began appearing around conversations where William believed it did not belong. There were whispers about royal events, private gatherings, and expectations that came not from duty, but from connection. William reportedly watched all of it in silence. But that silence should not have been mistaken for patience. It was calculation, because this version of William was not acting like the smiling prince the public sees at ceremonies. He was acting like a future king deciding what kind of monarchy he was willing to inherit. And in that future monarchy, according to the story, family connection would no longer be enough. The first real alarm allegedly came when Freddy spoke too freely about private Windsor life. A casual remark, a private dinner, a family detail, things that might seem ordinary in any other family. But this was not any other family. Inside Windsor, one careless sentence can become a headline. One private detail can become a leak. One joke can turn into a national story. William reportedly saw the danger immediately, because if Freddy could not protect privacy when the stakes were small, how could he be trusted when the stakes became serious? And that was only the beginning. According to the narrative, the issue grew darker when private information allegedly moved beyond the proper circle. Nothing was publicly confirmed, and the claim remains part of a dramatic royal account, but inside the story. This was the moment William stopped seeing Freddy as careless and started seeing him as a threat to the stability of the household. He did not explode. He did not confront him publicly. He did something far more dangerous. He went quiet. And according to palace watchers, when William goes quiet, it often means the decision has already been made. But Freddy's biggest mistake, according to the story, was still ahead, because the moment Catherine's name entered the situation, William's patience reportedly ended completely. The turning point wasn't one dramatic argument. It was a series of small moments that, taken together, reportedly convinced Prince William that something had to change. For years, Queen Camilla's family occupied an unusual position around the monarchy. They were close enough to attend important occasions, familiar enough to move comfortably within royal circles. Yet they held no official role inside the institution itself. According to the narrative, that balance only worked as long as everyone understood where the boundary ended. The story claims that Freddy Parker Bowles gradually began forgetting that boundary. There were whispers that he expected greater access to royal events. Rumors suggested he had become increasingly comfortable discussing life inside Windsor with friends. None of these claims have been confirmed by the palace, but according to the narrative, they created a growing sense of concern inside William's circle. To most families, those moments might have been dismissed as harmless. Inside the royal family, they carried a very different meaning. According to the story, William has always believed the monarchy survives because private life remains private. The moment personal conversations become public entertainment, trust begins to disappear. And once trust disappears, the institution itself becomes vulnerable. That is why one alleged interview reportedly caught William's attention. The narrative claims Freddy casually mentioned details from a private Windsor family dinner while speaking to a lifestyle publication. To many readers, the comments seemed ordinary. But according to the story, William wasn't focused on what had been said. He was focused on the fact that it had been said at all. From his perspective, private family moments were never meant to become public conversation. One interview might seem insignificant, but it could encourage more interviews, more stories, and eventually more headlines built around private royal life. According to the account, William chose not to respond publicly. He didn't issue a statement. He didn't criticize Freddy. He simply watched. And those who know William often say that's when he's at his most dangerous, not when he's speaking, but when he's quietly making up his mind. Then came another allegation that reportedly deepened the concern. According to the story, private information connected to King Charles's health was said to have circulated beyond the trusted royal circle. There has been no official confirmation that Freddy was responsible, and the claim remains part of the broader narrative. But inside the story, this was the moment William allegedly stopped viewing the issue as youthful carelessness. He began seeing it as a question of security, because in William's eyes, according to the narrative, anyone who cannot protect the family's privacy cannot be trusted with continued access to it. But even that wasn't the moment William reportedly made his final decision, because everything became deeply personal the instant Catherine's name entered the story. According to the story, everything changed the moment Princess Catherine became part of the conversation. Until then, William had reportedly viewed Freddy's actions as a growing concern. But the narrative claims the situation became deeply personal when rumors began circulating that Freddy had privately mocked Catherine's public image while speaking with friends. There is no official evidence confirming those claims, but within this version of events, they became the moment William's patience finally ran out. For William, Catherine is far more than his wife. She is the future queen. She is the mother of his children. And she is the person who has stood beside him through years of relentless public pressure. According to the story, any disrespect toward Catherine was no longer seen as ordinary family gossip. It was viewed as disrespect toward the future of the monarchy itself. That reportedly placed Queen Camilla in an impossible position. The narrative suggests she had already heard whispers about Freddy's behavior and quietly hoped the situation would settle on its own. But William allegedly saw the issue very differently. Family loyalty, he believed, could never come before the institution he was preparing to lead. Then came the phrase that reportedly ended every discussion. Family is not the same as liability. Whether those exact words were ever spoken remains unverified. But according to the story, they perfectly captured William's thinking. Loving someone privately did not automatically mean trusting them publicly. In royal life, access had to be earned, not inherited. According to the narrative, William didn't announce a punishment. Instead, the distance appeared gradually. A private reception invitation reportedly disappeared. Another family gathering allegedly moved forward without Freddy's name. Communication channels quietly changed. No confrontation, no public statement, just one closed door after another. According to those following the story, that silence was more powerful than any public argument could have been. There was no headline saying someone had been banned. There was only the growing realization that access to Windsor was slowly disappearing. But according to the narrative, William still hadn't delivered his final decision, because one alleged mistake involving Windsor itself would reportedly give him the reason to make the separation permanent. The final decision wasn't announced in public. It happened quietly inside Windsor Castle. The narrative claims that after another alleged breach of royal privacy, William decided he had seen enough. There was no public argument, no dramatic statement, and no second chance. According to the story, one private meeting was all it took. Just Prince William, Queen Camilla, and Freddy Parker Bowles. William reportedly remained calm as he delivered a message that changed everything. Freddy's access to Windsor was over. Future family invitations were over. And according to the narrative, the decision was permanent. Then came the line that reportedly left the room in complete silence. You don't get to disrespect my wife and still call yourself family. Whether those were William's exact words has never been verified, but according to the story, they reveal what this was really about. Not power, not revenge, protection of Catherine, protection of his children, and protection of the monarchy he believes he will one day lead. Whether every detail of this story is true remains unconfirmed. But if this account is accurate, it may have revealed something far more important than one family dispute. It may have revealed exactly what kind of King Prince William intends to become. Do you think William made the right decision, or did he go too far? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more untold royal stories.